Mr. Satish P. Sawant. He is the Head Inspector and Surveyor at Indian Institute of Welding and Testing Technology. He is a mechanical engineer with ASNT Level-III, AWS-CWI, New York, Welding Inspector, CSWIP. He is a mechanical engineer with ASNT Level-III, AWS-CWI, New York, Welding Inspector, CSWIP, TWI, Cambridge, UK, Welding Inspector, International Welding Technologist. He has an expertise of more than 33 years in teaching various subjects of mechanical engineering related to welding engineering. Mr. Satish will talk about the need for skill development and training for welding to operate the welding machines. So delegates, let's welcome Mr. Satish Sawant.
Good evening, everyone. Really, it is a good pleasure to us to discuss on this particular panel of the skill development. So there is a little bit introduction about myself has been given. I'm representing Institute of Welding and Testing Technology. And Institute of Welding and Testing Technology is conducting training program on welding, NDT, and painting technology. So we keep on conducting several programs as on today, all over India and abroad. Even we're having an institute at South Africa and Southeast Asian countries. And we are really working on the skill development. And for the skill level for the welders, one is a skill without knowledge is not useful. So knowledge with the skill is a requirement. So we need to train the trainers also according to that. Basically, when we talk about only the skill, will not help. Skill with the knowledge only can help to the society. And after the COVID, there is a lot of openings started coming from the Europe. And really to meeting the requirement of European welding skill and challenges which we are facing, we are not able to fulfill the requirement of the skill which is required to the European market. As well as there is a lot of skill and knowledgeable welders which is required for the Indian industries. So where is basically, there is a gap between the institutions and the market requirement. Most of this welding institute, if you look at, those are the government institute, which is really doing good job to take a rural guys and skill them. But the problem is market requirement is totally different, and the skill level which has been given is totally different. And that gap need to be filled by the organization like Panasonic and welding machine manufacturers, welding consumable manufacturers. All these people need to be put together, because training on welding is not like others. No, you can sit on a computer and train them, or the stitching classes, or any other skill development, because there is a lot of material will be there. Even there is advanced simulators and VR technologies available. But with VR technology, we can definitely give a good knowledge to them. But practical skill need to be developed, so they have to work on the field. So it's very expensive training comparative to training on the other skill. And in India, always we are aware about it. The skill need to be improved. And we're basically doing a lot of Vishwakarma Puja also. So it is not new to the Indian industries acquiring the skill and knowledge to the people. But this gap need to be filled. So more and more, what I feel, we need to go in a sequence manner to acquire this skill level. So the institution like welding machine, welding electrode manufacturers, they should put together, as well as the end user, the fabricators. In India itself, when we see the lot of infrastructure development is going on, and looking at the budget which has been approved for the Indian railways. So railway is another opening market for this, and where we need a specific skill level. And there is an international standards which has been introduced to this, like EN ISO 9606-1. And for the robotics welding, we're talking about EN ISO 14732 kind of standards. No, these standards is very good, but then our welders, who become a welder? Generally, who is not able to get the admission for the higher studies, or their financial problem, due to that, most of them go for this particular trade. Now, whoever comes for this particular trade is become a family member for the welding family. So we are ready to acquire them, but the system need to be, also support, because it's a very expensive training program. Like when we talk about the robotics welding program, getting robots for the training and people putting on a training in India, the the fees which is not affordable by the welders. So the industry should come forward, and as they should have a development on the skill centers, like companies already doing it, like L&T, Siemens, Mahindra. What they are doing, they are developing the skill development center within the organization, and they are acquiring this knowledge has been given to the apprentice. And nowadays we need a smart welder basically. No, welders should not be only the knowing about the welding. Welding is being a special process. No, we need to. There is a different types of welding processes. No, there is a like TIG welder. Maybe is good in TIG. He may not be fit in a MAG welding. MAG welder may not be fit into the MIG welding. So it's a big subject. So we need to make a specialized for the particular process as per the industrial requirement. So now we need to start the welding institute, like for the rolling stocks or metro or the railways. We call it as a rolling stock industry. So we need a very specific welders for the rolling stock. When we're talking about the infrastructure, if we're talking about the who is manufacturing the foot over or road over a bridge, so there should be a specific training center for who can be developed only for the fabrication. If there is a prefabricated structures has been made, so for those companies there is again specific requirement. So we need to train the welders, welding engineers, supervisors, because welding is a subject. Without only welder we cannot look forward. We need good inspectors, good welding engineer, good design engineer for doing this particular job. If your design is not good, then nothing cannot be done. So now we need to develop very specific engineers for the rolling stock or the infrastructure development or the special methods which is required for the oil and gas industries. So we have to understand the specific requirement for oil and gas, automotive industries. Now automotive industries also require a specific kind of welders. So we need to have a different type of institutions. In our ITS today, what is happening? There is a general program, okay, which is called as a electric and gas welder. Now, when he comes out from the electric and gas welder, whatever he learn about the manual metal arc welding process and the gas welding process, which has been not used in the industry. Now, those welders, even mechanical engineers who comes out, or the production engineer who comes out, even I had seen the robotic engineer. If the robotic engineer, if they don't have a background of welding, they cannot teach and program very well. So we need to have a very specific training programs and very specific syllabus for that. I'm doing today. We are trained more than 12,000 welders. I think all over India and abroad, whatever the work the Institute of Welding and Testing Technology is doing. But then there is a lot of scope for the other institution also to participate into that. We received the project from the South Africa to teach and program 186 robots. So we're seeing there is a gap. The people is not available. We're interested to train more and more people and make them even an entrepreneur into this. Today, there is a second problem. The welder has been not paid well. That is another issue. If we go to the industries, welder has been put on the contract. People don't want to put them on their own employment because they feel it is a liability. When same thing when we're doing in Europe and all, I'm getting so many candidates, they want to go to US or Canada. So there always rate carpet has been put for the welding trade. No, lot of people, even they are done the different courses, but they don't get a visa for more than 2, 3, 4 years time. But even they say I'm from a welder, or I'm a welding inspector, or I'm an NDT personnel, immediately the red carpet has been given to this guy. So what I want to say, there is a lot of potential into the subject. Now, it is to grow the Indian economy also, there is a saying, scholars and dollars. So these welders, if we train them and even they go abroad also, and they earn the dollars for us, or they earn the euros for us, that can also help to the Indian industries. So improving on the skill level, Institute of Welding and Testing Technology is working on it. Day and night we're working on this particular project, and we're getting a lot of inquiries for the training and upgrading the skill. So we're designing a very specific programs. Those are industry based. No, because automotive welder may not fit in a oil and gas. Oil and gas welder may not fit into the shipbuilding, and the shipbuilding welder may not fit to the infrastructure activities. No, you can make a footover or the bridges and all. So you need a different kind of requirement for the welders and welding engineers, welding supervisors, and there is so many international standards are available. Okay, those standards, we should learn from those standards, and we have to create those kind of welders with the specific industry. Then we can utilize the right kind of skill. Now, opposite manners, if we train the guys, may not help us for the industries. So that is my perception about it. And whatever I'm doing it and following it, I'm getting very good response for the training from the industries. So my request to all industries who is attending this particular seminar, no, they have to think about what is their requirement, what kind of infrastructure or what kind of business they are. And according to the business, they can design the syllabus. I can help them, let them make their own syllabus to the industry specific, because everyone may not be doing everything. Okay, they are doing a particular job. And for that particular job, if we can acquire the skill and knowledge of the person, and let us see how it can be done automated. Now, as I mentioned, these welders need to be given a something good name to them. I generally don't call them welder. I call them as an application specialist. If you tell welder, no, it is people looking at the welder because normal our family members and all, they are saying only the welder who is working in a garage or who is doing a welding of the grills. But the welding is something different. No, for the pressure vessels, heat exchanger. Now submarine has been built in India. Okay, so we need that kind of quality welding. And it is not only the, we always pin out the welders, even welding engineers, welding supervisors, design engineers, we all need to be trained with the international standards, understand them very well, so we can avoid the field failure. If we'll use an unskilled person today in our industry and whatever the way we're trying to grow, we'll be in trouble, what I feel. No, unless and we'll train them particular skill which is required for that particular job, and then create awareness with them. So they should be paid well, they should be recognized well in the society, because they are the persons who is contributing to the industries. How the growth will come? Because we can buy the best machine. I had worked with Larsen and Toubro for 16 years. Before that, I had worked for Advani Orlicon for 5 years. And last more than 12 years, 13 years, I'm working for Institute of Welding and Testing Technology. I'm heading the institute. I've seen there is a gap. Okay, unless and until we give a good respect to the welder, no, and skill them. During my career in 87, I'm talking about. No, there is a one book has been written. Thank you, Mr. Welder. No, we don't thanks them. We feel it is become a liability for us, then the industry will not grow. So they will be paid well, they should be respected well, and we should work together to upgrade their skill and create a smart welder. Because today's scenario, we need everything is a smart. We're all using a smartphone, okay? Because there is a lot of applications we can. No, this is not the phone, it is become a camera. It is not the camera, it has become a bank also for us, and the knowledge bank also. One is a money bank and the second one is a knowledge bank. Today we are spending more than 2-3 hours in a day time on the smartphone, looking at the Facebook, looking at the so many. So we need a smart gadgets with us. So now we cannot work with the existing scenario. We have to increase our standard of training also. So we need to train our trainers. That is the first priority we need to do. And with these trainers, those trainers should be from the industry, who has worked with the industries. They should come forward. In India, there is so many people, they are very knowledgeable, and they're retired but not tired, they should come forward. This is the time India needs you all to contribute, because these welders in Europe has been paid more than 2 lakhs rupees month salary. I'm having so many vacancies with me. We're not able to fulfill the vacancies of the welders. No, they are ready to pay free accommodation, good salaries, and good houses to them to stay there in Europe, because the COVID is also is one of the due to they don't have the right kind of manpower available with them. So India has been looking at all the countries, Europe, US, look at to India, and everyone is looking, and we are also looking to grow. So we can acquire that knowledge and skill and create a smart welders, smart engineers, smart designers. So there is a lot of potential. There's third-party inspection companies. They also required more and more engineers to come forward, learn about the welding, learn about the NDT, learn about the robotics, how the inspection, remote inspection can be done. Then there is a design engineers. So many demand in this particular fabrication field, and people is not available. I'm telling you, there is not good people is available. So there is a huge potential for every one of us to work on it. So we're from the country of the Vishwakarma. We know how to pray to we learn about this. So definitely India can do that, and we can become a leader into the welding field. And being a special process, we're all specialists doing our job, because we learn from our decades and thousands of years back also. We need a specialist to perform, and those specialists can be performed by India. So when there is a panel discussion and the people will have more questions on it, definitely I would like to answer them. So I thanks